For years, I genuinely believed that if I put myself first, that I was being selfish. When I wanted to say no, I felt a lot of guilt. When I believed and wanted to do what I wanted to do, I felt like I was becoming a bad person. And I believed this for quite some time, until I had a new perspective and I started to realize that this deep belief was ingrained in me. It was conditioning. The guilt that I was feeling was conditioned to not allow me to put myself first. And once I started to see this, everything really changed. So in this video today, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how we are ingrained to believe that choosing ourselves first makes us a bad person, makes us feel guilty. And also I want to really talk about that guilt, why we feel it and why it's so ingrained. And I also want you to understand how we can make new choices and just change your perspective about this. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Krista, and I have lived this experience myself personally. And now I guide and support women to really connect back to themselves, to hear their inner guidance, to hear their inner whispers, and to really trust what they're saying, and then slowly over time act on this so they can live empowered, powerful lives in a way that feels authentically true to them. So that's who I like to support. So let's get into this today. And I think this is a very relevant topic. I think it's a topic that a lot of women have experienced. And so I want to go there. I want to kind of touch upon this too. So really it starts with a belief. That's the underpin for sure. This belief that if we put ourself first, we are somehow a bad person, a bad employee, a bad spouse, bad daughter, sibling, you name it. And we've been conditioned to believe this for such a long time. As girls and women, we don't put our needs first. And so if we carry this forward and are unconscious to it, this will just perpetuate. We won't even be aware of the pattern. So first of all, we need to see it clearly, to see how this is showing up in our life. Because if we don't see it, we can't make new choices. So really the first thing I want you to understand is really how that disconnection appears and how it comes up in your life. Again, it starts with that first. And secondly, I think I want to give you a metaphor. This might make it a little bit more tangible, a little bit easier to understand. So when we're living our life, we're walking down our path, we're doing our things, and there's situations or events will come up. And I want you to think of your inner wisdom, your inner guidance, almost like a compass. And a compass guides us. It tells us which way to go, if we're going in the direction that we need to go, if we're kind of veering off our path. And so when we stop listening to what our inner guidance, our intuition is telling us to do, and we're just doing our own thing because we're not really tuned into what it's guiding us, the volume on our compass is going to go down. It's not going to be loud. It's going to be even more subtle than it already is. It's going to become silent. And this is when a lot of women start to really don't think they have an intuition, that think it's not there, which is very untrue. We all have it. We were born with it. It's our birthright. But if we've lived decades and years without listening to our inner guidance, if that volume is so low, it's so faint, we won't be able to hear it and act upon it. So that's one scenario. But if we're walking down our life and we make decisions, we actually tune into what our body wants, what our guidance is telling us to do, and act accordingly, our intuition, our inner wisdom will become louder. That volume on that compass, on that dial, will become more tuned in. It will become louder. And this will support us as we move through our life. So really, we do have two choices. So if you're saying no to something, if you're saying yes to something that you really don't want to do, and then we're not acting on it, that volume's going to go down. We will start to lose some of that self-trust in ourselves because we're not doing what we know we want to do. So I really want you to kind of understand there's two different scenarios there, and just think of your intuition as a compass that guides us throughout our life. It has a bigger perspective. It can see down the road, And it gives you those little baby steps, the little breadcrumbs to move you forward. So be aware of that. And again, if you start to listen to your intuition, trust what it's saying, act upon it, it will become louder. You will have a stronger connection with it. So that is a great place to begin as well. And another point that I want you to understand is really it's when we start to not trust what our intuition is saying, it's a form to me of self-betrayal. It really comes down to that. Are we respecting what we know to be true? Are we betraying our own needs to make somebody else happy? Are we outsourcing this? For example, now if I'm asked to do something, I won't immediately respond. I will take some time. And it depends on how long it'll take, but I will take some time. I will pause. I will get a little bit quiet with myself and I will tune in. Do I want to do this or do I not want to do this? And if I really do not want to do this, then I will speak up and say that, because I am no longer willing to betray what I know to be true and what I want to do. I'm not going to do things just to make others comfortable anymore. And this has taken some time. It didn't happen overnight, but it feels like a good place to be in. And so I just want you to really connect with that and not betray yourself for other people's feeling comfortable, and to really tune into that as well, because that's really the basis of it. And if you are a woman who is doubting that connection, is really wanting to, if this conversation is resonating with you and you want a deeper connection with your inner guidance, you want those first steps about how to do that, you can check in the description below. I created an audio practice where you will get quiet with yourself and you will hear the whispers, the very subtle energies, and you will be able to tap into your inner guidance. It's there, it's always been there. It's been dormant for so long for so many women. So if you are interested in reconnecting with that, that is available to you if you choose to do so. So really my intention with this video is for you to really understand that this is a choice, and we all have our intuition, our inner guidance, and it's really choosing how you want to connect with it, really. It's available for you, it's waiting for you, it's guiding you at all times, but it's just making the decision that you're going to be open to hearing the messages, listening to the messages, and then choosing accordingly. Putting yourself first is not selfish at all. It's not, and I really want you to understand that and feel that, and maybe shift your perspective if that's a belief that you've carried for years or decades. Putting yourself is not selfish at all, and I think we really need to begin there. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and I would love to know, you can place in the comments down below if there has been a specific situation in your life, whether it be the last day, the last week, where you had to make a decision which was truthful to you, that felt good for you, that felt you were not willing to betray yourself in that decision. And even when it felt a little bit uncomfortable and some guilt came up, which is normal when you start this. I'd be curious to see, share your example. I read them all, and it's just another way to give permission for other women as well to see this in someone else. All right. So wishing you all a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.